Hi besties, what's up? So if you saw my other video, which you might not have because I accidentally put it on private like I like to do and didn't realize it until the next day. It was called I Hate Spiders and Knitting. I was like, well, my cat was here and I wanted him in the video, so I just hit record, but I wasn't ready to start filming yet. So I was like, okay, oh gosh, what am I gonna crochet? My crochet hooks were in the other room and I think I got up and got one and then it was like the wrong size, and then I tried to do, I wanted to work on the moon. If you haven't seen, oh my gosh, here we go. I wanted to work on this bad boy, but I grabbed the wrong hook, and then so I picked this up and I was gonna work on this, and then I was like, oh gosh, I'm supposed to change color soon and I don't want to sit here on camera and count and be like, am I ready to change color yet? I don't know, I don't have a color to change to anyway. So then I just started knitting, and then I was like, I hate knitting. So anyway, I was like way off. I still have like 3 more rows, or the rest of this row, and then 2 more rows technically to go on this one. So whew, we're fine. Crisis averted. Anyway, yeah, it's been interesting. It's pretty hot. I mean, it's not that hot, but it's humid, which I just moved from Los Angeles to the Midwest, and so I'm not used to humidity. I'm used to heat. It's it gets up to 110 plus, even. I can't say up to 110 plus, that doesn't make any sense. It would get over 110 degrees, and it was I mean, tolerable. Okay, this kind of annoys me because this is the way my dad talks about the cold, and I hate the cold. The cold annoys me so much. But to me, when it's over 110 degrees out, it's not that bad because you're just inside, and it's gonna be air conditioning probably where you are if it gets up to that temperature, you know what I mean? Most places, we didn't have air conditioning when I was growing up, but we eventually got it. People would come into our house, we would have fans, and they'd be like, oh my god, it's hotter in here than it is outside. And then yeah, one year we got air conditioning, and then yeah, my dad would make a joke about it every time he walked in the door for years. I can't remember what it is now though. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm not used to the humidity, but yeah, so I'm saying you would go from your air-conditioned house to the air-conditioned movie theater or restaurant or whatever, or you can go to the beach or whatever. And then that's how my dad is about the cold. He's you're just inside and there's the heater, and then you just wear your warm clothes, and then you go inside and it's then it's fine because there's the heater again. But to me, I'm I hate the cold because I'm inside and it's a normal temperature, and I'm dressed like this, or probably have maybe a sweater on if it's cold. Yeah, fall and winter I was mostly wearing sweaters, but still, it's if it's snowing outside, you gotta put on I would have another layer. I would usually wear sweatpants and then put on jeans over that, and then have at least 1 layer long sleeve, and then put on a jacket. Sometimes I'd have a long sleeve shirt and a sweater and a jacket because I'm I'm a wimp. But yeah, everyone else out here is walking around. They're I see people in shorts when it's snowing, and I'm just oh my god, I can't. I'm such a Los Angelino, I don't know, Californian. I'm gonna go with Californian. Anyway. Yeah, so crazy stuff. But I just I have this morning routine, and so I talk about astrology all the time on here, whatever. So if you don't know, astrologically, there were 7 visible planets, which were the sun and moon were included in the planets because planet just means wandering star. So these are the moving objects in the sky, as opposed to the fixed stars, which are the things that are moving compared to the background of fixed stars. So when you see Mercury retrograde, it's not you can see it moving backwards through the sky, backwards from our perspective, of course. It's over time, you see it compared to the other stars in the sky, it's moving a certain direction and then it looks like it goes backwards, but it's like, yeah, but the sun and the moon were considered planets anyway. So the days of the week are based on the planets, the visible planets. So I'm gonna start with Saturday, because I watched a video by Gemini Brett, and he kind of explained how, like, why the days go in the order that they do, and it's about like planetary hours. So like Saturn day is Saturday, and you start with like Saturn hour, and then you go through the like, it's really complicated, but like basically you just go through the planets in Chaldean order for like 1/12 of the time that there's daylight, and then the night hours are like 1/12 of the time that there's nighttime, and then you still go through the same pattern. And so like if you follow that pattern at the end of Saturday, like the next planet in Chaldean order is going to be the sun, so then Sunday is next, and then you go all the way through the day. Once Sunday's over, the next planet that's in charge is the moon for Monday. So then you go, so okay, then my morning routine, I get up and make tea in the morning, obviously. My morning routine, I also call it a ritual because it's like, I don't know, based on the planets. And like I pick a mug based on the day of the week. So it's Friday, so Venus is Friday, or the planet associated with Friday. Venus isn't Friday, obviously, whatever. So Venus is associated with things like singing and women, and so I have my Carly Rae Jepsen mug. Also the color green. I mean, there's like a rainbow here basically, but like I personally associate Venus with pink. I don't know if that's like in the books, but like she's traditionally green, and there's the green and the blue, but they kind of blend together and it looks like a lot of green. So it's like, anyway, and there's a little heart, and I just love Carly Rae Jepsen anyway. But yeah, so I use like the mug based on the day, and then I also kind of pick a tea based on the day of the week too. So like on Friday, I make rose tea. That's fun. Anyway, why did I bring that up? I don't know, but I'll just talk. It's like hot, so I just make iced tea. I think that's what I was going to talk about anyway. It's humid and it's hot. Yeah, like this morning routine always sounds like such a good idea in fall. Like fall and winter, and then even spring. Like in the Midwest, we have like thunderstorms here. Like we just had one like maybe 2 days ago or something. Like it's July. It's the 4th of July today. So that was such a British way to say the date. Anyway, I'm just gonna pretend that it's like not a holiday, because it's like, it shouldn't be, because this country shouldn't exist, because it's founded on genocide and slavery, and I hate it. Which I talk about more in my video called Ariana Grande Was Right, I Hate America. Because I was just gonna call it I Hate America, and then I thought of the Ariana Grande licking the donut going, I hate America, and I was like, I feel weird not acknowledging it, like saying I hate America and not acknowledging that, because it's just the first thing that came to my mind. So I was like, okay. Yeah, my morning routine always starts to like fall apart when the heat comes, and I'm just like, ugh, it's kind of depressing, because I'm like, what am I gonna do in the morning? And I'm like, okay, I can make iced tea. We got like a cool new fridge. Oh my gosh, I'm not working over. I thought I was done with the tail for some reason. Yeah, we got like a new fridge with an ice maker, and it's pretty and blue. And so yeah, I can make iced tea, but I tried to make this iced tea, and basically what happened, I was like halfway done drinking it, and I was like, it's getting so hot, I don't want to drink this. And then it was like, I just put ice in it, and so I tried that. Like, I think to make iced tea you have to kind of plan it and do it before, and like boil the water, make the tea, then like cool it down in the fridge or something, and then put the ice in it later. Like, so it's something I would probably need to do like the night before, like start, you know, start the process, and then it'll be ready in the morning. But like, I didn't think of that yet. Maybe tomorrow, but I'll have it. But so I just, like, I was halfway done, or like maybe 2/3, whatever. and I just like put a bunch of ice in it. Basically the ice just like started melting, and I was like, I don't want this to like water down the tea, so I just tried to chug it as it was like melting so it wouldn't get mixed in. And it like, yeah, I was like, okay, I'm mostly just drinking like lukewarm water at this point, like okay. And then I started like tasting the flavor of the tea again, and it was like kind of like not that cold, but like it was cooler. And then like most of the ice was melted and it wasn't like melting as fast anymore, so I like added another scoop in there, and then that one like stayed a little longer, and like I can still kind of taste it, and it's still, oh, not, there's still ice in there, but I thought there was more and it wouldn't spill. It would just clink. Oops. Anyway, I'm just gonna like put a little tissue right there and clean that later. But I'm such a Virgo. Yeah, also like speaking of the Ariana Grande thing, I was gonna say at the time, but I was like, no, I'm gonna finish what I was talking about already. I'm so proud of myself. Anyway, I started thinking about like, there was another video that I made where like I started talking about naming a trivia team, and it was like called He Kobayashi Maru'd Me, because I started talking about James Acaster and then I forgot why I started talking about him, because like the trivia team was named Mrs. Bean, which I got from his like oh my god, I hate that I have to say this out loud, Cold Lasagna Hate Myself 1999 his stand-up comedy special. I think it's from 2021, it's like December, so it's like late anyway. Yeah, it's really funny. It's so good. He's so funny. I want to watch his newest special, but I can't. Anyway, so I talked about him a little bit, and then I like forgot why like I brought him up because of the trivia team name, and then I started talking about like another story, thinking like maybe this will jog my memory, and then I was just like, okay, James Acaster, word association, like let's see. And I thought of this like this time. Okay, I had this I was trying to make like a pact or like a deal, like I was asking the universe for like a sign about like who my soulmate was or something, and so I was like, because I dated, like I'm a lesbian, but like I dated a couple of guys, like 2 guys at this point, and I was like, there's a guy that my roommate was telling me was perfect for me, and I was like really annoyed. I was like, shut up, I'm a lesbian, like leave me alone, stop talking to me about this, I don't care. And she was like, no, you just like you just get treated a certain way by men because you expect to, and this guy's perfect for you, I promise. And I'm like, if he's so perfect, why don't you just date him? And she's like, no, he's not perfect for me, plus I'm already like in love, whatever, I have a boyfriend and he's perfect for you. And I was like, whatever, like let's see. I mean, I don't want to like give up on true love by saying like, no, I'm a lesbian, and then like find out like, oh, he actually is perfect for me or whatever. So I was like, yeah, like I guess I'll like see what happens or whatever. And so like I made this deal with the universe that like the 2 guys that I dated before, when I showed that, like I watched James Acaster's comedy special Repertoire on Netflix, which is 4 parts. They're 4, like it was 3 separate parts, and then at some point he started watching those like Pixar like YouTube video theories that are about like Pixar movies, about how like all the movies are connected and they're like all in the same universe and stuff. And so he like yeah, there's more to it, but like he basically connected all 3 of the shows with a 4th show that it kind of like wraps up everything together, and he kind of like edited the other ones to like make them all fit. But so yeah, so it's a 4-part comedy special. It's 4 hours on Netflix, and it's really good. And I tried to show it to my boyfriend when we were dating, and we watched like the first one and it was fine, and then the second one, I think he started like touching my leg, and then like we ended up like having sex. And then the next guy that I went out with, like I tried to show it to him, and like yeah, the first special he wanted to have sex, and well, I think he like asked if he could kiss me or something, and I said like, no, I want to watch this, like I really like this, that's why I'm showing it to you. And then he's like, oh, like, you don't want to have sex? And I was like, no. And then he left like 15 minutes later and it wasn't even over, and he's like, I'm just really tired. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I was like, that didn't work out. So I was like, I made this deal with the universe that like, if I show, that's like how I'm gonna know who my soulmate is or whatever. Like, either somebody would make a James Acaster reference around me, like without me having to do it first, and being like, hi, get it, have you seen James? And they're like, yeah, I think I've seen it, that was pretty funny, I guess, thanks for but like, if someone else like made a James Acaster reference to me or something, I'd be like, oh my god, that's the one, you know? Or if I like, with the guy that I was like talking to at the time, I was like, if I show him the James Acaster specials and then like he doesn't try to have sex with me during that, like that's how I'll know. And then like, yeah, I was still like pretty sure. I was like, I think I'm a lesbian, like I'm not really interested in this guy necessarily, but like he kept texting me about like making out, and I was like, maybe that would be a good way to find out, which like I don't think it was, because I was like, I've already like been with men and like I don't think I really liked it that much, but like I don't think being with another guy and seeing like, okay, do I like it now is gonna help. Like I think I should have like tried to go out with a girl actually, and like seen if I liked that more. But like, yeah, I was like, let me just really make sure I don't like being with men, I guess. So like, yeah, like I invited him over, and then yeah, basically all I was gonna say was like, I titled my, so I told that story, and then I like still didn't remember why I brought up James Acaster the first time, and so like I talked about it the next day, and then I was just gonna call the video Mrs. Bean, and then I was like, no, because that gives away, like the whole thing was like, I was building up to like what the title, I thought the title was really funny, and then I was like, I don't want to just give it away the title, you know, but I thought it would be like a funny title that people would click on, but I was like, if anyone was like following the story from the day before, like I would want them to like be able to follow the suspense. And then like, I also like, but that video got like 600 views, it might be like 500 plus, and I'm rounding up to 600, but like, it was like, the one before only got like 20, and I like linked, I was like, yesterday in my video I was talking about this, and like that one got 600 views, and then it's like, here's the video I was talking about before, and that one was still at like 20, and I was like, what? Like literally people, and like I'm working on a James Acaster like astrology video, which I think I'm gonna have to like push back, and then I was like, I think it might be a good idea to release it on his birthday, which is January 9th, so I'm like, I might just like push that all the way till then, like work on some other like people's videos that we do have a birth time for, so I could get like a little more practice doing that, and like practice editing, like making videos, like yeah, making and editing. I need practice both. It's still like kind of annoying to like set up the microphone. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like if I want to record audio, it's like just this whole process, and I'm like, okay, I'm like still like, when I was first getting used to it, it was like I would miss a step somehow, like every time. I'd be like, aha, I like filmed this whole video, but like I didn't hit the little R button on the new track that I started before I hit record, so like none of it recorded, and I was just like, oh my gosh. So like, but I would film on my phone, and so the phone, that's what I'm doing now. I don't have a mic in here, but like the phone picks up the audio anyway, so it wasn't a big deal, but like it was kind of annoying, so I was like, I was trying to get better audio quality, I was like, I guess that didn't work. And then there's this setting on the microphone that's like voices only or something, and then so I was doing my Olivia Rodrigo birth chart video, and like I was reading her lyrics, because like I didn't want, like ideally I would be able to like put the song in, but like I didn't want copyright claims or whatever, so I was like, I'm just gonna read the lyrics from like Genius Lyrics, and then I mean, it doesn't matter where I read them from, but that's where I read them from. Anyway, so I was like, I'm just gonna read them, and like at some points I would like start singing, and then it like wouldn't pick it up, because it was like, I don't know, just on like speaking, like it was still my voice, but like I wasn't speaking, and so it didn't record it. And so I would like, there was like I think 2 times where I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go back, like I cut the audio from the mic, and then like made a new track with the video that wasn't muted and moved that clip up there, so I would have the phone microphone audio to like play but then it went into like a weird, like it changed, you know, as it like went into that and then went back out. So it was like kind of weird. So I did it twice, and then after that I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like delete all of these. Like it's not like worth it. Like anytime I messed up the audio, I was like, okay, I just like, obviously I'm not gonna use this clip. It wasn't meant to be. Yeah, so I need to get used to a lot of things. But like I already bought some like clothes to wear for the video. So it's whatever. What was I saying about Olivia Rodrigo's? I think I probably said it all. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so nice holding that mug. I usually would have the fan on, but then I'm so worried about audio quality. So I think I left it on for like another video, but it's like, it's too hot. But today it's like, it's tolerable. And again, it's not the heat, because I can handle the heat, but humidity is new to me, and it's already like annoying to people who are used to it, you know? So yeah, it's just like worse for me. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so this is gonna be the next yarn that I use. So it's gonna be like a little ombre kitty cat on a green background. I don't know if I love how it looks yet, but hopefully like once I add all of it, trust the process, you know? Yeah. Oh my gosh. So what am I gonna call this video? Yeah, and then I have my video clickbait title, which is about Israeli propaganda in TV shows, which I think people should watch. And it has like one of my favorite comments I've ever gotten, which is just like, this is 47 minutes. And I was like, yeah, I know, like I was sitting here talking to the camera, like I watched the time going up on the screen as I was talking. But also like of all my videos, especially on this channel where I'm just like sitting talking like stream of consciousness and like forgetting what I was talking about and like just going off on tangents, like of all my videos, that one about the Israeli propaganda, that one was like actually, I mean, I did this one other time where I like typed out something about like what I was gonna say before I talked about it, but like it's like of all my videos, this one, and it's like the most important too. Like the other ones are just like me rambling about like relationships that didn't work out, or like James Acaster, like whatever. And this one was like something I thought was actually important, and it was like, I mean, not that I don't think my life is important, but it's something that I thought other people would think is important, because like I obviously, like I'm sitting here talking about these things, like they're important to me, but like why would they be important to you? You don't know me, unless you're like also gay and like can relate to what what I'm talking about, which is like why I started making these videos, because I was watching Nikki the Interventionalist, her videos, and I just like, there was one video specifically where she was talking about like how she realized she was a lesbian, and I just like, I related to so much that she was talking about, and I was like, oh my god, this is just like, it made me, I was like, I want to leave a really long comment, and I did, but then I was like, I still like feel like I have more to say, and then like I started making videos shortly after that. Also, it's been a while since I talked about this, but both of these things, but I used to say it like every day. But the other thing was Rowan Ellis's video about Black Mirror. She was like a queer Black Mirror theory that's very interesting. But it made, like, I'd only seen the one episode with the lesbians, San Junipero. I hadn't seen the Hotel Reverie one, so like that made me want to go watch it, because I'm not really like a Black Mirror fan that much. I mean, it's like interesting, I guess, but I don't know. It's like, I'd rather watch something funny, you know? But yeah, I mean, it's still good, I guess, whatever. Yeah, so I watched that, and then I was crying so much. And like my dad's in like AA, and there was like a girl in the program who was like I don't know all the details, but she needed somewhere to live, and so he was like letting her stay downstairs in our like basement, which like I've never had a basement before. That's crazy. Like we don't have those in California. But yeah, so she was downstairs, and I kind of like forgot that she was here. She was really annoying me because she was like using my mugs in the morning, and like I already talked about my whole routine, so I use different mugs on different days. I have like a pretty mug with a sunflower on it for the Sunday, and then like a white mug that looks kind of like the moon to me. And it's kind of like it's got little craters on it and stuff. And it's just like, yeah, I'm like, this is obviously the moon mug, Monday mug. And then I think I woke up on Sunday and I wanted my sunflower mug, and she'd used my Monday mug and my Sunday mug, like my Sunday mug the day before and then my Monday mug that day or something. And then like one of them, like the older one, still had the bag of tea like stuck to the side I mean they both did, but the one that she used the day before, it had like dried and it was kind of stuck to the side. I was like, oh my god, this is like really annoying, because this is like my one thing, like I'm like my morning ritual. I make my tea with my mugs, and it's like kind of weird to like be so specific about which mug you use on a different day, but like whatever, like it's my thing. And then like, yeah, I really didn't want her to live with us. I thought it was weird, like he's like an older man and she's like a younger woman, and I think like it's happened before, like there's like implications, not that he like ever does anything with them, but like there's always questions. And like I'm like, why couldn't she, there's no women in the, like one of the things is like when you join the program you're supposed to get a sponsor, and they recommend getting a sponsor of the same gender as you, because it's like they don't want you to like, yeah, get taken advantage of, I guess. Although like I will say Knitting Cult Lady has said that like people come to her from AA with cult shaped wounds. So like I don't know, this isn't me like advertising like you should go to AA. Like if you feel like it'll help you, if you feel called to go, then go. If you don't but like yeah, whatever. Don't listen to me, I'm not in it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like it. So, but I think it has helped a lot of people. That's what but I'm not an alcoholic either, so like I can have a drink and then stop. So like it's not for me, so like maybe that's, I don't know, whatever. I'm just gonna say it seems to help my dad. What was I talking about? No, I'm talking about cults. Okay. Yeah, they say to get a sponsor of the same gender as you, so like there's no like weird stuff going on. And then so I'm like, why couldn't like any women in the program help it? Like we just moved here. We were like, I had all these plans for like what I wanted to do with the downstairs area. And, like we would talk about it, or like we should like put a game room down there or something, like put like a couch and a TV. I wanted like a bookshelf. And then it's like, he's like, oh yeah, I let her, first of all it started with him just like letting her put her stuff down there. I'm like, that's kind of annoying because it's like putting off our plans. Like and he also promised me that like we went to this art store and there's a desk that had like a clear surface, and I thought it'd be really cool to like have that and like put like a bunch of art supplies in there, and it would just like look really pretty, and like I could put that downstairs and like look out the window, like there's a bunch of trees and stuff, and like I could like do art down there and stuff. And then it's like, oh, now it's like filled with all her stuff. And also we never went back to the art store to get the desk that you promised you would get me. Anyway, that's besides the point. But yeah, so I'm like, I don't even want her living down here. And then like, also like, obviously she's sharing my bathroom, like, okay. I go in there, like, the mirrors just like swiped, like it looked like it was fogged up, and then she just like kind of like took her hand or something and like swiped it across, and like it just looked really gross. Not like gross, but like just really obviously like different. Like I didn't do that. And it was just like, yeah, I was like, and she didn't clean it or anything, or like do anything to, yeah, I was just like, I don't want her sharing my bathroom. Like one day I woke up and like I was about to go in there, and then like I saw her like walk right in there, and I had to be like, hey, can I use that for, I'm like, I don't want to have to ask to use my own bathroom in my own house like when I wake up. Like I don't want this to be my situation. But like obviously, I mean, not obviously, you don't know you don't know my life, but like I was gonna say, I've been like in a situation before where like I didn't have like a steady place to live because like my housemates during COVID were like throwing parties and I didn't feel safe there, so like I wanted to move out. I could have stayed there and kept paying rent, I guess, but like I also wanted to quit my job. So yeah, I was like, my dad helped me find somewhere else to live, but then like she ended up selling her house after like 2 months or something, and then like I moved again, and then like the person there was selling her house, and it just like, and then I moved again, and then like then I moved in with like my roommate and like coworker, but then she wasn't paying like anywhere near her like share of the rent. Like the move-in fees were like $7,000, and like she was like, I only have 1,000. Like she didn't tell me until like I was at the bank, like about to pull out the money to like write the check or whatever to like for the deposit, like the move-in day, and she's like, I only have 1,000, is that okay? Like what? Like yeah, I get, like I technically have enough money to cover it, I guess, and like I really want to move, like whatever. Yeah, why did I bring that up? Yeah, okay, I just remember that I was talking about the Israeli propaganda video, so I'm gonna go back to that, I guess. Yeah, I just the comment that was like, it's 47 minutes, I was like, yeah, and but it's like important information. And also like the Israeli propaganda budget is like, it's already really high, and then they increased it like 150, I don't remember the number, I think it was $150 billion though, if I had to say off the top of my head. It might not be that, but it was like a lot of money went into that already, and then they increased it by like so much money that like I can't even fathom it. And so it's like, it's just important to talk about, like now that I'm noticing it, because I wouldn't have, like, these are all shows that like I'd seen before, and like I didn't know about like all the details about like what Israel is really like doing. Like I think I'd heard of like the Israeli-Palestine conflict, and it was like my 10th grade history teacher taught it to us, and he was just kind of like, oh yeah, it's a war over the Holy Lands, and it's been waging for like 3 centuries, and there's nothing we could do about it. And they're like, kind of like, I remember having this like feeling of like moral superiority about it, just like, oh my gosh, I'm like so much better than them because I wouldn't like let religion like blah 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 like affect me like that or something. And so like I kind of like put it off, and I didn't really think about it for a long time. And then like I think in 2021, after like the March of Return, there were people talking about it on Twitter, and I didn't really know what was going on, but like I saw somebody say like, oh, they're not really Zionists, they're neo-Zionists. And I didn't know what Zionist was, or Zionism was, or a Zionist was, but it reminded me of the neo-Nazi thing, and it was like, neo just means new. Like, so a neo-Nazi is just a new Nazi. So like, I don't know what Zionist means, but I was like, oh, what does neo mean again? That was just my only comment, because I was like, I don't really know, but I was like, that's kind of a stupid comment. Like, whatever you're talking about, that doesn't make any sense. I was like, what does neo mean again? And then somebody else explained it. They're like, neo-Zionists, or like blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, thanks. I was just pointing out that like neo means new. So a neo-Zionist would just be a new Zionist. And then the person that I was responding to started responding to me, or so the person who explained it was like a third person, like just giving a fact, and then it was like, okay. And then the other person started getting like, oh, she's like criticizing me and then started arguing with me. And yeah, like all of the things that she was saying just reminded me of things about like America, and like prison, like police brutality, the way that they call like I think the Black Panthers were like categorized as a terrorist group, like officially, but the KKK never was. And so like she started saying like, oh well, that like Zionists are fighting against like terrorists or whatever. And I was like, I don't know, like I don't know what's going on here, but I don't think that she's right. So like, let me find out. And I'd seen like my friend posted a documentary like a couple days before on Instagram, and I was like, I should watch this, but it was on her story. I was like, I should watch this, but I just like, I know it's gonna make me depressed, and I just like, I'm just like not in a good place right now, like homeless basically, and like my love life isn't going well, and I just lost my job, and I just like, I can't handle that right now. And then like this like Twitter argument was happening. I was like, okay, let me just like learn what's going on before I start like arguing about this with something I don't know. So like I watched this documentary about the March of Return, and like the things that, okay, so yeah, the things that the Israeli soldiers were saying in the video, like before they were like like shooting Palestinians, and like it was like a game to them, and they're like, oh my, like, and it was just so like ugh, like I can't believe that I believed what I believed before. Can't believe I just said that. I can't believe that I bought into the idea of, I mean, I can believe that I bought into it because it's like, it was an authority figure telling me, like, it was a teacher, why would I question him, you know? I had no reason to doubt it then, but like, it's like, I can't think that way anymore after hearing this soldier say, like, the Palestinians are fighting, like, not even fighting, they're literally walking. They have like no weapons, they're walking. If they do have a weapon, it's like a slingshot maybe. They're just like walking near a wall that was like illegally built around like land that was stolen, to like keep them in like a open air prison, concentration camp. So I saw somebody say, like a Native American say that they refer to it as a reservation. I was like, okay. Because like people were arguing about the like open air prison implies that they did something wrong. It should be like more like concentration camp. And then I think that person was arguing like concentration camp still kind of argue that. And it was more like a reservation where like the colonists took their land and like, so I was like, that makes sense. Anyway, yeah, and the Israeli soldiers were like shooting them and like laughing about it, and like just like it was yeah, I was like, this is disgusting. And yeah, so now that I'm like rewatching these TV shows that I watched like growing up, that like popular TV shows that I know a lot of other people watch too, like How I Met Your Mother, Parks and Recreation, Rick and Morty, Superstore. That one, I think there was only like one instance, but I was so disappointed. I was like, oh, I thought Superstore would be better for some reason, but like it's still like an NBC show or something, like whatever. Yeah, Rick and Morty. There was one more. Oh, there was also one in Younger, but I don't think people watched Younger. Like I hadn't heard of Younger until I read Sutton Foster's book, which I read because I mean there's like, it's about her like crafty, so there's like a crochet hook on the front and like yarn, so I was like, I crochet and I'm also a musical girly, so like that's why I got it. Like I didn't get it because I was like, oh, I saw her on Younger and I loved her. Actually like kind of hate Younger. But yeah, so I got her book and then I read about her being on Younger, and then so I was like, oh, she was on the show, and I kind of wanted to do a video about her birth chart, so I was like, I should watch the show that she was on just to like get more context about like what was going on. And then it was just like, yeah, it kind of drove me nuts. But like I was also kind of obsessed with it. Like if I wasn't watching it, I'd be like thinking about it. But like, yeah, there was like two instances of Israeli propaganda that I found, like noticed, heard, they were words. And one of them was just Krav Maga, just a mention of Krav Maga. And then the other one was just a mention of like, they're like, do you want some Israeli wine? And I was like, that's too much. I don't want, like, we're boycotting Israeli products. I don't want to watch a show that's talking about Krav Maga, which is an Israeli, like, according to How I Met Your Mother, because they mentioned Krav Maga in How I Met Your Mother too, in the episode where he breaks up with a girl on her birthday twice, she goes to a Krav Maga class, and everyone at the bar is like, what's Krav Maga? And he's like, I don't know, some kind of yoga maybe. And then at the end, he dumps her on her birthday again for the second time, and she starts beating him up, and he's like, you know how I said Krav Maga was some kind of yoga? or I thought Krav Maga might be some kind of yoga. It's not. It's a guerrilla warfare tactic invented by the Israeli military. And so that, like, I was sitting there with my dad, and like that just like made my heart rate just go up, and I was like, oh my god, like why would they have to just like mention like because like why does the Israeli army need to invent a tactic like to commit genocide? That's what they're using that tactic for. And then so like any mention of Krav Maga now is like, okay, like why did you bring that up? And it wasn't relevant to the plot. They go to a Krav Maga class, but we don't see them doing it. It doesn't come up later, like, oh, they don't beat somebody up at the end of the episode. They go to the class, and then they're like walking out of it, and then they go to the locker room. And then like Sutton Foster, she's like a 40-year-old woman pretending to be younger, 26. So they're like changing, she takes off her underwear, and like the other like actual 26-year-olds see her bush. They're like, oh my god, and that's why it comes up. So they can like shame her for having body hair. So I'm like, that's annoying already. And then yeah, just the mention of like Israeli wine, I'm like, again, we're boycotting Israeli products. I'm not gonna keep watching a show that like mentions Israeli wine, like that's a real thing. It isn't real. I can't hear the words is and real next to each other now. Gross. Anyway, yeah, if you haven't seen that video, that's basically I talked about that and a couple more instances that I remember seeing. And then one thing I didn't talk about was like we were watching My Name is Earl too. So we used to watch that when I was really young, which is like weird because like we were rewatching it and I was like, I have these like very specific memories of the show, of like this scene in like a strip club. It was like, why was I watching this when I was like 8 years old? I don't know. Bit weird on my parents' part maybe, but whatever, they're alcoholics. They probably didn't care. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, we're watching My Name is Earl. There's a lot of like pro-America propaganda, like anti-terrorist, which I would say is like Islamophobic. Not that I would say it. A lot of let's say Muslim people and other people have just people in a lot of other people have called it Islamophobic too. Just like talking about like terrorism, going overseas to fight terrorism. Like there's an episode where Joy, so if you don't know the show, Earl Hickey is like a bad guy. He like steals stuff all the time. Like he's just like in trouble with the law. He has a younger brother, Randy, who he like hooks into all his little crimes and schemes. A woman named Joy, she was pregnant and didn't want to raise the baby alone, so she tricked Earl into she got him drunk, and then like they went to Vegas and eloped or something. I don't know if they necessarily went to Vegas. I don't know where they live. They're in Texas. So like I don't think they would have, that would be a long trip. Anyway, but yeah, she gets him drunk and they get married that night, and then she like tricks him into like raising another man's baby for a while, and then she cheats on him with a black man, and the baby comes out black, and so he realizes like, okay, and so they break up. She gets his name's actually Henry Monroe, and then he goes into witness protection. Do we find out why? I don't remember. Whatever, that's like a whole nother thing. Anyway, so the thing is like, so Joy, his name's Daryl, I think. They call him Crab Man most of the time, so like I can't remember. I know it starts with a D. Darnell. His name's Darnell. I was like, picture Joy yelling it, and I was like, Darnell. Yeah, so Joy is married to a black man now, and like they're like the first white son, who actually might be Earl's baby, because there's like an episode later on where it's like she slept with a guy in like a skeleton costume at a Halloween party, who she thought was someone else, but then Earl's like, oh, I was at that party and I was wearing a skeleton costume or something. So it's like, oh, it actually was Earl's baby, I think. So okay, doesn't matter that we don't know that yet. So he's like, Earl leaves her, but like her parents don't know that she's been lying to them, so they come and visit for the holidays. I think it might be Christmas. Yeah, it's Christmas, because there's like a whole thing about like Earl, oh, he gets hit by a car and needs to like make up all these bad deeds, because he suddenly starts believing in karma, and he's like, I got hit by a car. He wins the lottery and then gets hit by a car and loses the ticket, and then like decide, like, I think he's in the hospital watching daytime TV, and there's some guy on TV talking about karma, like a celebrity. I don't know who it is, but Earl does, and it's like, yeah, he's a real life famous person, but I just don't know who he is. Anyway, so Earl's trying to make up all these like bad deeds he did. He's trying to make up something to like Joy's kids. He like stole their bikes or something, like they got them bikes for Christmas, and then him and Randy were like drunk and like took the bikes to go do something stupid, and then like they got destroyed or like stolen or ruined or something. So like he ruined their Christmas and he's trying to make it up to them. He goes over to the house. Joy is there and her parents are there, or like, I don't know, maybe they're like, the parents are on their way there, and Joy like talks him into it really fast, like, hey, they don't know that I'm married to Darnell and they're racist, he's black, so like they're gonna be pissed about that, so can you like pretend that we're still married? And so her parents come and they pretend that they're like, the story that she gives her parents was that he was in the military. He was overseas in Iraq fighting terrorists. That's what, like, the whole thing. But I, like, it's just little things like that that, like, just make me, I'm just like, I can't, like, I don't want to watch this show anymore if that, like, they're just gonna make little jokes like that. Like, I just, like, I don't want to be listening to it. I don't want that going into my my body is a temple and my brain doesn't need to hear that kind of nonsense. Anyway, but like, yeah, there was also like a whole episode about like the government and how the government's good, because like Earl, like, I thought this was really funny, like, not haha funny, but like after everybody talking about like how our taxes are being used to like fund like genocides overseas, and just like these endless wars too. War, like, genocide is not war, but we do both. Like our tax money is going over there, and like our tax money is going to Israel. Israel gets free like healthcare, free education, I think, like college or something. I might be making that up. They definitely get free healthcare, which Americans pay for with our tax dollars. And then so like this episode where Earl like didn't pay his taxes one year, then he tries to like make it up. He goes to the, like, I don't know, just any government building and tries to give them a check for $500, and she's like, oh, are we expecting this? Did you get a letter from us? And he says, no, but I like skipped all my taxes like a couple years ago or whatever, or for a couple years, I don't know. And she's like, oh, if we're not if we're not expecting this, I can't take it, I can't accept it. And so he like gets mad and tries to find out a way to fix his wrong, because karma, if he doesn't do it, then karma's gonna kill him or like make his life terrible or something. So he has to right this wrong. So he like goes and tries to like figure out how he can fix it. Like, I think he's trying to fix potholes or something, and then something about a water tower. I think he's trying to get arrested so that he can pay the bail. So him and his brother go up on the water tower, because I think they got arrested for doing that before. And so they're up there and like trying to get attention, and then like nobody notices them, and then they fall into the water tower, and they've kind of got like, they're like dangling on ropes, because I think they didn't want to fall off the top, because they were like wrestling or something stupid, because they're brothers. And yeah, like the ground, it's not ground, the tower like caves in under their feet, and so they're like dangling from the rope. So it's not like they can just like try to, there might be like a ladder or something on the side they can just climb out. No, they're stuck there, they're dangling. And like then eventually somebody realizes, like, they're there for a couple days, like, losing hope, and then after a couple days they're saved, and somebody tells them, like, the story of how they realized that they were in there. It was like, oh, well, we saw this car that was parked illegally, blah blah blah, and then blah blah blah, and it was all like bureaucratic stuff. And it was like, and then we realized there must be people up here, and then the fire department came, and it was like, actually the government's good and you should pay your taxes because everything's great. And I was like, oh my gosh, shut the fuck. I'm just like, I don't want to hear this. Like, I don't know, I've heard a lot of people kind of like there were people talking about like war tax resistance and stuff, and like, yeah, people were just like arguing about it. Like, I don't think that's a good idea. Like, I'm still gonna pay my taxes because I don't want to get arrested. I was like, well, I don't think Palestinians want to get like arrested by Israelis and like arrested, because not that they didn't actually do anything wrong, but like held hostage, held captive. I don't even know if captive is the right word. Is captive like you're only supposed to use it in instances of like war or something? I don't know, like war prisoners, so like technically it wouldn't work because it's a genocide. It's like there are kids getting like kidnapped by the Israeli army for like throwing rocks at tanks all the time. I think they don't want to get in prison, and also like they probably don't want the money that your taxes are going towards like bombs. I'm sure they don't want that happening either. Like, I don't know. And like, also, if a lot of people don't pay their taxes, like they can't go after everybody, you know? It's just like, I mean, some people might need to, I don't know. It's up to you, obviously, to like determine your level of like I don't think comfort's the right word. But like, it's more dangerous for some people to be arrested than others. Like, if you, like, for example, a trans woman, like I wouldn't say anything. Like, if a trans woman was like, no, I don't want to like not pay my taxes because I don't want to get arrested, I'd be like, you know what, that checks out, because I mean, like, there's a chance that you're gonna get sent to like a men's prison, and that's just gonna be like a really awful experience, and like it'd be worse for her than it would be for me, you know? So like I'm willing to like take that chance, I guess. Not that, like, I'm also not working though, so it's like I'm not paying taxes, but like not paying taxes on no income, so like whatever. So that's good. And then like, also, I think my mom claimed me as a dependent or something, because there was one year I got a mail, I was gonna say a mail, I got a letter in the mail that said I was supposed to get like X amount of money for my tax return, and then it was like, oh, we actually you get less than you were supposed to originally, and then I like tried to call them about it, and obviously that never worked, so I was like, what's going on here? But yeah, I think it ended up being like I was claimed as a dependent or something, and like, yeah, I don't know. So I don't know if that's even really doing anything, but like, I probably won't get arrested for this, so it's like, okay. But yeah, I'm not trying to like guilt anyone into doing anything that they don't feel safe doing. But yeah, I just think that we all gotta talk about what's going on, the genocide, we gotta talk about the propaganda. I gotta go let my cat outside, so I guess that'll be it for today. Free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan, free all oppressed beings everywhere, especially my cat who wants to go outside. Okay, bye.